Welcome to this AirHeads Special. I'm in Birmingham, one of the great success stories of the British gun trade. Birmingham, small arms. I should be wearing a Stetson because I'm going to be looking at deep hole drilling with plenty of oil and producing 18,000 barrels a year. Our tour guide today probably knows more about barrel production than anyone else in the world. Dave Williams has worked at BSA for 45 years. He's seen the company go through many changes, but one thing has remained constant, and that's the quality of the steel and what he weaves out of it. It seems to be a long way to go from what you've got in your hands there to that black thing down there.
So this one is obviously a finished PCP, and this is the raw material what we get in, what we start with. So there's no holes through it, no cones on it. So to start the process off, that's how it comes in. And it moves on to what we call a capstan, which is this machine here, where we put a lead on the one end for the entrance of the barrel into the swaging machine. And on the other end, which is the true end, where all the choke is and everything is, the deep hole drilling side.
The deep hole driller does exactly that. It creates the bore. No twist, just smooth. The drills spin one way, the barrels the other. This means the effective revs increase and increase the accuracy of the cut. This is a bit in the barrel's life where it has to be at its most accurate, really,
yes,
doesn't it?
Yeah. I mean, this part where the small chamfer is always within 2 or 3 thou. The other end we keep within 5 thou.
In terms of what that does to a pellet down range,
yeah.
What does the difference of a thou make over 50 yards?
Over 50 yards it might be an inch, so it can make quite a bit of difference. But when it goes on to the next process, we straighten it. After the swaging, so we straighten it, so we take any imperfections out of it.
And there's a little bit of testing at the end.
Oh, there's a lot of testing.
Next is the swaging machine. This is where the barrels get a real hammering, literally.
What we have to do, we have to thread the barrel over the end of the mandrel, which has all the 12 grooves in, wind the mandrel into the centre of the hammers, so when the barrel passes through and over the top of the mandrel with the rotation, it will give us the twist what we require, which is 1 in 19 inches. So this is the hammer we're talking about here. It's quite heavy. That bashes your barrel 4,000 times. The pummeling stretches the steel, making it too hot to handle. And it stretches it by around an inch to, or 25 mil, whatever you like to call it nowadays. But we still work on this machine in English. This is the stuff that comes out of the twist in your barrels. Barrels themselves are taken away for grinding, and the barrels destined for Springer air guns have blocks brazed to them. 4 of those barrels are taken to the vice for testing with that old engineer's favourite, a lump hammer. That's a terrible thing you've done there, Dave. Well, it is really. It's a lot of money down the drain, just to prove that the barrel is okay and welded okay. No, he has knocked the barrels black and blue. The survivors go off to a room full of dodgy sounding chemicals. This method of protecting your barrels has been in use for hundreds of years. Now Dave's going to show me the new blue, and it's black. The one on my right, which is this one which I'm moving, is off the new process. The one on the left is the bluing process from the old method. Can you see much difference apart from the shine? We're still in the experimental stage, testing it all out. We will put it out on field tests, see what people think. This is an example of how a traditional company like BSA is using technology to push forward the development of its air rifles. Dave is part of the old guard, so what does he see in his crystal ball? I'm coming to the end of my time now here, but I'd like to come back in, say, 10, 20 years' time to see if it has changed and whether people do think this is still as good as what I think it is. There are still firms in England and abroad what still use cold force swaging, and I don't think it can be beaten. This is the machine that made the Mark IV Meteor. BSA made more than 1 million of those air guns. It has a history going back over 150 years.
We've been promised to look at some of the very latest air guns on the market. Tell me, Simon, is that it?
This is it. This is an 1895 Martini-Henry.
That's not the latest.
Not the latest. No, it's not the latest. Not at all. It's but it's our piled arm signature with the 3 rifles on the badge. This is absolutely, yes.
So where was this used?
This was used in the Boer War.
The Boer War!
Absolutely.
Okay, you've got to say the line. Say the line. Colin, say the line.
Zulu, sir!
No, not. You're only supposed to play the rifles. Zulu, sir, thousands of them.
Zulu, sir, thousands of them. The famous line. So, yeah, absolutely.
Can I do the other line?
You could absolutely, yes.
This used to have this had a fitting for a bayonet on the side,
absolutely,
yeah.
Okay. We don't have bayonets, unfortunately, but
you're an air gun company.
Absolutely,
you're not
yes.
supposed to have bayonets.
Absolutely.
In, twist, withdraw.
Absolutely.
Bit more aggression.
Bit more.
So this is not the latest.
It isn't, no, but it's part of our heritage. It's you know, a wonderful specimen really of what we did and obviously transitioned through the years of what we do now.
And it's a 450. I mean, you could shoot an elephant with this. Right.
Oh,
let's move forward a few years. What else have we got?
Okay. We've got well, not so much. Only maybe 10 or so years, but we've got a very first spring unit. This is a Lincoln Jeffries.
This is an air gun.
This is an air gun. It's an absolute air gun, which is an undercocking spring. You've got a single shot.
You put the pellets
in there. Absolutely. As I say, this was a Lincoln Jeffries design built under license. BSA built it under license, and this model is around about 1906, 1907.
So this is kind of Edwardian gentleman sparrow shooter. That sort of idea.
Yes, absolutely.
And he would have bought this as a little fun thing, or for his son.
Yeah.
Little Lord Fauntleroy. Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on from there.
Moving forward, we've got.
Oh, look at that.
First World War 303.
The smelly,
absolutely. As I say, this is in absolute pristine condition. This one has actually not ever left the factory.
Really?
Yeah. So fully working, but it's obviously a unique model.
I'm always impressed by the sights on this, the iron sights.
About 1916, 17. This one was manufactured.
So that lifts up.
That lifts up. You drop this down.
Push that one in.
Push that one in. Sorry, move that down. You know more than me. That's it. There we go. And then you've obviously got fine adjustment here on the side.
Magnificent.
So it's really is a lovely piece of work.
And that was absolutely standard British Tommy Atkins rifle.
Absolutely.
The Great War rifle.
Yeah, absolutely.
Beautiful. All right, next one, please.
Okay, next one. Moving forward a few more years.
This 50 years.
Yeah, at least 50 years. This is a Meteor now. A lot of people have got Meteors. We started with the Mark 1. We're now currently on the Mark 7. This is a Mark 5. So this is probably, I would say, late 80s, early 90s.
Right, I've said it before. I'll say it again. You sold 1 million of these, didn't you?
Yeah.
It's an
incredible amount. Yes. Yeah, it's a real sort of standing.
Why was it so popular?
Just because it was very accurate, it was a very good price, and quality. You know, and I think people could trust the BSA brand. It was a very good price, and fathers and grandfathers passed it on, and that's how it's gone through.
The bit that's always impressed me is the simplicity. Actually, it's just absolutely straightforward.
Simple lines.
Beach stock.
Beach. Yep.
Nothing could go wrong with this.
No. Nice weight.
Lovely.
Very.
Okay, last one on the list.
Okay, so obviously then we started to move into PCPs, and we've got.
Well, you say move into PCPs. I mean, they'd barely been invented by the time this came out.
Yeah, this is probably this is an early BSA Sportsman. It's actually cut away, so you can actually see the workings of it. A bit of a demo unit, really.
Now, what really excites you is the paperwork, isn't it?
Yes.
There is more evidence of the sort of craftsmanship this workshop has been responsible for.
You see the date is the 12th of November 1945. Obviously highlighted secret, so obviously top level secret before he went into any kind of production to the naval. And you can see here development for close range naval service. £2 gun, quick fire.
What does this tell you?
Well, I mean, the really thing I find fascinating is the fact is that the drawing media itself is obviously a linen material, which is waxed on.
And that had been wheeled right past where we're standing now?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
from half-scale diagrams to the full-scale real thing. Nick here is making the Buccaneer airgun, a BSA gun for export. Right, follow me. Here's the action, and here's where they put together the last of your perfect BSA rifle. A trigger, a bolt, and over here, what about a lovely stock? The last thing you get is this, the out-of-box experience. Look at that. And as part of that process, there's quite a lot more testing. Colin, you get the barrels and the actions here, don't you?
That's correct, yes.
Do you get every single one?
We do see every barrel that is fitted to every gun that we do assemble.
And what do you do with them once you've got them in here?
This particular stage is used for grouping, velocity, and just general any power issues whatsoever that might occur, whether it be a low power, high power gun. We just set everything to a factory standard setting of a 12-foot pound or a high power gun. So it's all using the same process to shoot each gun. So nothing changes, every gun gets treated exactly the same.
The guns on this rack, the Martini-Henry, the 303 SMLE, the Meteor, between them represent 3 million sales for BSA over the last 150 years. Let's see what they've got coming up in the future. This is a world exclusive, BSA's first HFT rifle, and it's flying the flag for the British company. Simon, that is a James Bond rifle.
It's something that we're very excited about. It's our first venture into the field of HFT, hunter field target. We think it's the natural progression for the brand, for the product, to finally get into that position with an out-of-the-box standard factory-built rifle. As you can see, it's a pretty decent-looking bit of kit.
What's it got that makes it HFT?
Well, it's our standard self-regulating Scorpion SE action. We've made it in a single shot and in 177 specifically for the HFT scene. But the real key feature is the stock that we've designed in collaboration with our stock manufacturer, Minelli.
This is a bit of a one-off. What would I pay for it?
It's going to be somewhere around about the £1,200–1,100 mark, and that's a sensible price point for such a competition rifle.
Are we going to see it soon?
Yes, it's actually going to be previewed at the World HFT competition, which is in Kelmarsh over the weekend of the Easter break.
The R10 is BSA's flagship PCP model. This, together with the launch of the Ultra SE, has dramatically increased the company's market share. However, the biggest impact has been on the international market, where their sales have increased by more than 80% thanks to the Buccaneer.
Last year, with the introduction of some new stock options, with camouflage and with a black tactical look, we almost doubled the sales of the R10 in the UK. That itself led to our overall sales being up by about 31%, but internationally we grew by 83% last year, specifically with a couple of models that we've designed that are aimed at the slightly different requirements of the international market.
BSA is a company with a fascinating past and is now working hard to create an exciting future.
Not only is our discerning customer looking for a good performing technical rifle, but they're also asking for a thing of beauty, and I believe that we are able to deliver all of those key points, which from the sales growth that we saw last year, I believe makes us Britain's leading gun manufacturer.
There's plenty more in the BSA pipeline, but that's for another day. Well, we are back next week, and this has been an AirHeads Special. Please hit the subscribe button or go to our website, sign up for our newsletter. I am going to settle back with a bottle of BSA Special Ale, brewed like this airgun in Birmingham.